everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Shop Adventures, my weekly excursion where I leave the homestead here at Athletic Geek HQ in search of my bounty of comics, graphic novels, action figures, collectibles, and all things in between. First things first, time to talk about what stood out from last week's bounty. Falcon and Winter Soldier was very, very good. I am going to keep it on my pull list for now. It was a good, intriguing first issue, just kind of like the dynamic between the two former Captain Americas, and I don't know. I'm curious to see where the story goes. It's a story that can really take Soar with Eagles or really take a nosedive, but it's still a book that has me really intrigued, and I really like the first issue. Detective Comics, more greatness there. Just he may not like me using his phrase for a DC book, but it's Detective Comics by Peter Tomasi. Enough said. And then Batman vs Superman, or I shouldn't say Batman vs Superman, but Batman and Superman. I really liked it. It's Ra's al Ghul, it's Zod, it's all of them together with Lazarus Pits and the citizens of Kandor and the Lazarus Pits, and Joshua Williamson, I kept talking about how Peter Tomasi was the best kept secret in comics, and I still believe that because I don't believe he gets the credit he deserves in this community as much as I feel like he should. But I feel like Joshua Williamson's kind of sort of also getting there because he's done a really, really good job on The Flash, and then this Batman and Superman book. It's also very, it's really, really well done. Those were the three that really stood out for me. I will see you when I get back here to the homestead with this week's bounty. Hey everyone, I am back here at the homestead, right here at Athletic Geek HQ. Got an interesting bounty this week, so let's just jump right on in. We got Savage Avengers number 11, and yes, that is Doctor Strange and Elektra kissing on the cover. I'm very interested to see where this goes. It's been a good book so far, and Doctor Strange has made it a little bit more interesting because while he's a cool character that I really like, he's kind of different from the rest of the real gritty characters that have been in the Savage Avengers books so far. Wolverine, Conan, Punisher, Elektra. The real gritty, tough, badass characters. Doctor Strange is cool. He's not really what I think of when I think gritty, tough, and badass. But still really cool. And really interested to see how this relationship plays out. Savage Avengers, number 11. From there we go to Daredevil, number 19. Boy, I bet he's going to be mad his old woman is, I didn't mean that to sound rude, but his old lady is cheating on him with Doctor Strange. All kidding aside, it's the start of a new story arc. It's a two-parter. So we'll see if Chip Zdarsky's momentum can continue with this book and see how he plays out of that book. It was getting a little preachy. I was starting to not like it too much, but overall, not to the point where I want to cut it or nothing. So, Daredevil, number 19. From there, we have a new book. Speaking of Doctor Strange, they've all been kind of interconnected, these last three books, go figure. It is Strange Academy number 1. It's written by Scotty Young, and I am a Scotty Young fan. It's Doctor Strange teaching youngsters how to do magic. It seems like a fun concept for a book, so why not? I thought I saw it on the shelf, thought about picking it up, and pulled the trigger. So definitely something that I am looking forward to reading, and if it's one that I don't like, then so be it, and one of you guys may win it in a wrestling giveaway. Strange Academy, number 1. From there we go to Excalibur, number 8. This cover is just very holy shit. It's got all of the all these mutants' heads, including Apocalypse, as like trophies on a wall, and it's just like, what the fuck? Yeah, probably my favorite mutant book out there right now. So, yes, the one of all the X-Men books I have, this one I get the most excited about. And it is, and I will concede, it's partially because I'm a Gambit and Rogue kind of fanboy. But with what they do with Psylocke, what they do with Jubilee, how they've used Apocalypse, how they've used several of the mutants' heads that you see on this cover, that's also got me excited for this book. So, overall, it is a good book, and like I said, it's my favorite. It's my favorite mutant book that I'm reading right now. Excalibur, number 8. From my favorite mutant book I'm reading right now to the one that kind of sometimes feels like a chore to get through. It is Marauders, number 9. I just don't know what it is about this book. I'm just not as into it as the other mutant books. I just don't know. And I like Jerry Dugan. I should like this book. This should be one of the ones I get the most excited about everything on my pull list. But it's the one that I gotta read it twice, and halfway through the second, read it twice just to pick up and retain stuff. And then the second time through, I'm just like, can I stop? I want to read this. It's not a terrible book by any stretch of the imagination, but it's definitely not something that I get excited for. So we got Bishop on the cover, so we'll see. We will see. Marauders, number 9. And that completes the Marvel portion of this bounty. Let's go to the DC portion, and we have Batman, number 90. It's getting better. A lot better, actually. It's with James Tynion IV. It's tremendous. Going back with the to where Tom King dropped the ball. The relationship between Selina and Bruce, definitely. No, he's just writing it well, and I think I like that relationship. But it looks like instead of it just being kind of a weird cop-out reason for them not to be together, it looks like there might be a storyline reason for them to truthfully not pursue this anymore. So I'd rather see that happen than just kind of this weird cop-out like Tom King did. And again, I don't dislike Tom King at all, but I didn't like that. I didn't like that portion. So it is what it is. Batman, number 90. From there, we go to Justice League, number 42. The ending of last issue has me fiending for this book. With basically the villains have one of the 3 pillars of the Justice League just kind of defeated. Straight up defeated. Their ass was kicked. And, you know, it's kind of curious if Robert Venditti could keep Scott Snyder's momentum going. And the answer after that, at least for now, is yes, he can. So I want to see what happens. I am actually worried for this particular character. You know, I don't want to spoil too much because I want people to go pick up, if there's still 41 out there, I want you to go pick that up and pick up 42 if you see this. So, yeah, good stuff. Definitely still at a high level for this book. Justice League, number 42. From there we go to The Flash, number 750, and this is actually a variant cover. It's the end of the story arc, but it's a really thick book it's a love letter to the Flash, and I love the Flash. And yeah, it's it's a $7.99 book. I don't really like how they do this, but for something like this, it is kind of cool. But this is actually a variant cover like for the Silver Age Flash, and it's just awesome. It's got all the rogues. It's got him shaking hands with Jay Garrett. It is awesome. So much so that I actually put the regular one back, the regular cover back to pick up this one because I could only afford one this week. This is awesome. I love this I love this cover. I even like, it's got the checkerboard up here, like the old Silver Age books used to have. DC, it's not the Comics Code Authority, but it says approved by the authority of DC Entertainment. And my favorite little Silver Age homage on this whole book is the classic DC logo. Because DC used to be called, was also known as National Comics, and it had Superman on the top. It's in the Silver Age when Superman was really carrying the company. And, yeah, bringing back that classic Silver Age logo for this variant cover is just that's what made it pop out and go, I had to have this one. It was the same price. And, if I could have afforded all of them, I would have. But, unfortunately, I could only afford one $8 comic this week. And, I think I made the right call on the cover, and hopefully it's a fun little love letter to a great character, an underrated character. The Flash, number 750. And the final book of this week's bounty, keeping on the theme of Strange, or as Doctor Strange began, Strange Academy, but even in the DC universe, we have something strange. It is Strange Adventures number 1. This is a 12-issue series from the DC Black Label with Adam Strange. It is by Tom King, and as good as Tom King did with Mr. Miracle, I wanted to jump on board with this. I had to read Mr. Miracle through trades and borrowing. I wasn't even on the ground floor with that. So as much grief as I do give Tom King about some of the missteps in his Batman, he is a great writer, and I've always been interested in Adam Strange. He always looked cool. And I have some trade paperbacks of Mystery in Space with some of his adventures. And he seems like a cool character, and I'd like to read more of Adam Strange. And why not this? It's the cover is, for something that, is kind of classic Silver Age, they're really, really going in a postmodern direction, I guess you would say, with this, kind of deconstructing a character similar to Grant Morrison's Animal Man or Alan Moore on Miracle Man. Just wanted to destroy and rebuild this character. Maybe. Hell, even Jeff Lemire on Moon Knight kind of did the same sort of thing. But still, it looks like a cool book, and if I don't like it, I'll give it up. But it's a 12-issue limited series. A guy that can write science fiction and these kind of characters really well. He proved it with Mr. Miracle. Let's get on board with it. Strange Adventures, number 1. The last thing, and it's not a comic book that I picked up, is this DC Gallery mini Green Arrow statue. And this is really neat, if I can get it out of the box here without tearing up the box, because you gotta save the box, as we all know this. It's a PVC statue, but the attention to detail on this statue is just tremendous. Like these PVC statues, some of them are looking even better than the ceramic and glass ones. The bow is actually like elastic, which is kind of cool. And then I don't know how well you can see this on camera, but if you can see, like, it really does look like he's got leather boots on, and he's like actually wearing leather. So this is awesome, and it's affordable because the PVC statues are so much more affordable, but now they're getting into such great detail. They're almost better to have if you're wanting just to have a neat collectible to hang around, to have in a game room or a man cave, or that stereotypes, wanting to have cool collectibles. Because I know a lot of women that would like to have something cool like this. So yeah, this is just a really, really cool piece, and I can't wait to make it part of my collection that's on the other side of the wall that unfortunately you don't see. Maybe you'll see it some other time. But yeah, really, really cool Green Lantern mini statue. Great detail. I love it. And that is it for my bounty this week. Let me know what you picked up at your local comic shop in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share, subscribe for more content, not just from the world of comics, from the world of anime, gaming, pro wrestling, and all things geek culture. Go like my Facebook page, facebook.com/athleticgeek89. There, every Thursday, you will find my collection comic of the week blog. That is exclusive to my Facebook page. But than that, I'm out. Y'all be cool. Later.